Praise be Lord. Call order.
Mike Null,
Here.
Anthony Campbell,
Here.
Mary Wiles, here, Stacy Oakham, here, Trevor Warner,
Here.
Mike Null,
Here.
5-0, we have a quorum.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Invocation. What were you recommended? Did you have a recommended change on there?
Oh, I took it off the list of what we needed to do.
Okay.
We have a revised list.
Need a motion to adopt the agenda?
Changes.
What changes, you know?
I make a motion to adopt the agenda with changes.
Second. Anthony Campbell,
Yes.
Mary Wiles,
Yes.
Stacy Oakham,
Yes.
Trevor Warner,
Yes.
Mike Null,
Yes.
passed 5-0.
Next up, March 2024 bills. You guys should have in front of you. You guys have any questions, please let us know. Sorry. BNSF?
It's for the,
We pay some type of stupid fee,
you have to pay them every day from,
then they pay us
The crossings.
a fee. Because we have two crossings.
because they technically own the property.
Whoever was negotiating that whole deal back in the day, oil for it.
That's the discussion. If we don't pay it, they take the crossing out.
We were both doing it. I was digging through, while you guys are going through, I was digging through some of our, when we were going through some of the old things, and we talked about the park up here, and I think there's, like, we actually own a piece of, I guess at one time there's a well, and I need to go and try to find the deed, which I may have, and there's a portion, there's a well up there at one time, and they had signed over that portion of property to us. I got all the paperwork for it.
That's why it's more than
Just leave the deed.
That's what I don't have the deed, I need to find the deed to that. We did, yeah. I think it was like, if I remember right, this is like 1920s, 1930s, it was all, but I had all the paperwork for it. So whenever you guys are ready.
Make a motion to approve the March bills.
Anthony Campbell,
Yes.
Mary Wiles,
Yes.
Stacy Oakham,
Yes.
Trevor Warren,
Yes.
Mike Null,
Abstain.
passed 4 with 1 abstention.
Can I ask why you're abstaining, Mike?
It's because it was requested. You should have just abstained from that portion.
Gotcha. Thanks, Mike. Next up would be minutes from the March 4th meeting.
You get one.
Any motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the minutes from March 4th, 2024.
I'll second.
Anthony Campbell,
Yes.
Mary Wiles,
Yes.
Stacy Oakham,
Yes.
Trevor Warren,
Yes.
Mike Null,
Yes.
passed 5-0.
Next up would be Bill 2024-0039. That's the liquor license penalty for road fairs. I'll need a motion for the first reading by title only.
Make a motion for first reading, Bill 2024-0039 by title only.
Second.
Anthony Campbell,
Yes.
Mary Wiles,
Yes.
Stacy Oakham,
Yes.
Trevor Warren,
Yes.
Mike Null,
Yes.
passed 5-0.
An ordinance establishing penalties, late fees for failure to time to procure or renew in your city alcohol license as required by ordinance of the city of Dixon and providing for an effective date. Need a motion for second reading by title only.
I'll make a motion for second reading of bill number 2024-0039 by title only.
I'll second.
Anthony Campbell,
Yes.
Mary Wiles,
Yes.
Stacy Oakham,
Yes.
Trevor Warren,
Yes.
Mike Null,
Yes.
passed 5-0.
An ordinance establishing penalties, late fees for failure to time to procure or renew your city alcohol license as required by the ordinance of the city of Dixon and providing for an effective date therefore. Need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Anthony Campbell,
Yes.
Mary Wiles,
Yes.
Stacy Oakham,
Yes.
Trevor Warren,
Yes.
Mike Null,
Yes.
passed 5-0.
Just so you guys are FYI, we have the same businesses every year that are 3, 4, 5 months late on their alcohol license, and that's just so we can collect extra money from them. Basically, make it worth their while to pay on time, so. Bank investment signatures, you want to touch on that? Who are we waiting on signatures?
We need signatures for the CD, we need 3. You, Mary, and Anthony for the CD.
Which bank is it, Mary?
Bank of Missouri's got the CD.
Can they send them to us electronically like they did before?
Yes, but we have to have it in the minutes that you guys are the signatures. And 2 people have to sign if you have any transaction.
Okay. So it'll be me, Anthony.
And Mary.
Okay.
You're on there, but it's not in the minutes. And then we need 2, we have to have 2 signatures for the transaction. Yes.
Yeah.
What are we just getting a motion to have 8 signatures?
Off the investment, yes, the CD.
The
Somebody
CD.
else can say that.
I'll make a motion to have signers Mike Null, Campbel and Mary Wiles on the CD at the Bank of Missouri with 2 signatures required for each transaction.
Second.
Anthony Campbell.
Yes.
Mary Wiles.
Yes.
Stacy Oakham.
Yes.
Trevor Brown.
Yes.
Mike Null.
Yes.
Pass 5-0.
Next up would be back truck. Nathan, do you want to touch on that real quick?
Yeah, so we were offered a pre-drive opportunity by a hydrant excavation truck from Waynesville, City of Waynesville. I mean, it's a really good truck. I ran it for 6 years. And it would really help us out with efficiency and get things done quicker. I know we got probably about 10 hydrants leaking around the city. That would help us considerably. And we would be hitting utilities and things like that.
Waynesville came over and piled water main where I was today, and like 2 hours later, they're still dry.
Anybody that's been around, and just to kind of explain to everybody that doesn't know, you basically take a power washer, it's got a big vacuum, so you power wash down, and as you're power washing down, it sucks up, so you can get the pipes and like, there's no digging, you don't have to worry about hitting any utilities, it's very, very efficient. Once you use one, it's one of those things you don't want to go any other way, so. I believe we have money in your budget, and we have some ARPA money we can use for that, is that correct?
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions?
Was that ARPA money that we're gonna use for that?
We have it in the budget as ARPA. You could, yeah.
Yes, okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we have some cheerleaders.
I wasn't sure.
And you've got some information up there on some other equipment that's similar and the price of it, so I don't know if you see it, but we needed that to justify buying it to our.
You guys have any questions, concerns on it? Yeah, this is budget. Once we move the budget with ARPA in there, it's good. I think we're good. We don't need an amendment to, we don't need a motion or anything. It's,
We amended the budget already.
once we amend the budget next, it's.
You need to do the entire workshop that we had the other day.
Oh, we haven't approved the workshop.
I understand that, but once we approve the budget, there's no need for us to motion for approval for it. Once
No,
the
it's in
budget.
there.
Once we amend the budget, it's in there, and we're good.
Which is next.
a copy of it in there with all necessary changes.
Are we going to have additional discussion about how we're going to address this still remaining?
Yeah, I thought some of that we would discuss any legal issue, we discuss it close, my anticipation will be after we do this, I'm going to touch on that. Most recent legal issue, me too, that's what I guess I'm interested That's information. Motion to approve.
Right, I'll make a motion.
Oh, sorry, John.
Because I missed that.
Oh.
So I wasn't.
Question about it.
I don't know if there's a question about something.
I think it's pretty straightforward, to be honest with you.
This is just the minute budget.
Yes, it's just,
Yeah, it's moving
You said
stuff
something
around.
else and made me think something.
we were talking about,
Okay.
Something that's close to. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the amended budget for 2024.
Second.
Anthony Campbell,
Yes.
Mary Wiles,
Yes.
Stacy Oakham,
Yes.
Trevor Warren,
Yes.
Mike Null,
yes.
passed 5-0.
Next up would be personal financial disclosure statements. They're due by May 1st, is that correct?
That's
So everybody has to do that or you will get fined. Mr. Baker will turn you in and you will get fined from him. So make sure you do your personal financial disclosure. This is your warning. As he sits back there and smiles because it's what he has to do with his time.
I believe everybody has one, except Andy and Mike.
Which might,
Yeah, there's three of us.
He knows
No, he ain't done his yet. She's threatening me now.
it takes 10 seconds. You can go on there, you can log back in and approve it.
I did my thing.
Or meeting for the fine. And there's going to be everybody here.
3 students, is what we refer to it as. You guys can pick and choose which one's which. Appointment of newly elected officers. I think Les is going to swear them in, is that correct?
Oh, you have to do it.
Vote to approve the new amended budget?
I just said.
Kelly, your point.
Are we?
Oh, we'll do appointments. Do what?
She's got officials first.
Appointment officer.
Thank you guys for catching me.
How do you want to do it?
It all sounds
You can switch it around.
Hold, yeah, we'll switch it around.
Yep.
Michael Parsons. You will say aye, state your name, and repeat after me.
I, Michael Parsons,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications
that I possess all qualifications
prescribed by law for the office
prescribed by law for the office
to which I have been elected,
to which I have been elected,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Missouri,
and of the state of Missouri,
the laws of the state of Missouri,
the laws of the state of Missouri,
affecting fourth-class cities,
affecting fourth-class cities,
and all the ordinances of the city of Dixon,
and all the ordinances of the city of Dixon,
and I will faithfully demean myself
and I will faithfully demean myself
in the office of Ward 1 Alderman
in the office of Ward 1 Alderman
in the city of Dixon,
in the city of Dixon,
for which I was elected April 2nd, 2024.
for which I was elected April 2nd, 2024.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Trevor.
Have a seat.
State fair.
You will say, I state your name, and repeat after me.
I, Trevor Null,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications
that I possess all the qualifications
prescribed by law
prescribed by law
to the office for which
to the office for which
I have been elected,
I am elected,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Missouri,
and the state of Missouri,
the laws of the state of Missouri
the laws of the state of Missouri,
affecting fourth-class cities,
affecting fourth-class cities,
and all the ordinances of the city of Dixon,
and all the ordinances of the city of Dixon,
and I will faithfully demean myself
and I will faithfully demean myself
in the office of Ward 2 Alderman.
in the office of Ward 3 Alderman.
That's a typo. In the city of Dixon, for which I was elected.
For which I was elected
April 2nd,
April
2020.
2nd.
Congratulations. You say, I, and state your name,
I, Mary Wiles,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications
that I possess all the qualifications
prescribed by law
prescribed by law
for the office to which
for the office to which
I have been elected,
I have been elected,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Missouri,
and of the state of Missouri,
the laws of the state of Missouri
the laws of the state of Missouri,
affecting fourth-class cities,
affecting fourth-class cities,
and all the ordinances of the city of Dixon,
and all the ordinances of the city of Dixon,
and I will faithfully demean myself
and I will faithfully demean myself
in the office of Ward 2 Alderwoman
in the office of Ward 2 Alderwoman
in the city of Dixon,
in the city of Dixon,
for which I was elected April 2nd, 2024.
for which I was elected April 2nd, 2024.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next up would be officers. Shooting back before we get the collector, I would Avery and Natalie Perez as the clerk. Any questions, concerns on that? Motion to approve. Yeah.
Did you say Avery's last name was?
Medley.
Medley.
He said L, it was her maiden name. It was her maiden name.
Yes. I think that's what we're supposed to do.
I make a motion to approve the appointment of the officers.
I'll second.
Anthony Campbell, Mike Person,
Yes.
Anthony Campbell,
Yes.
Mary Wiles,
Yes.
Stacy Evans,
Yes.
Trevor Warner,
Yes.
Mike Gunther,
Yes.
6-0 or passed.
I gotta tell you when the last time it was.
It's been a while.
It's been at the very beginning of when I started with the city, and that was 2.5
2 years ago.
City clerk update?
We renewed our Sam's financial audits for 22 and 23 are complete. And Jeff Mills from Archer Eldon sent out a draft agenda for the kickoff meeting for the lead service line inventory. And I'll get you guys to see when we can do that maybe in the next couple of weeks.
Okay. What's he want to go over, do you know? Any details?
Everyone has he wants to go over maps, water billing.
Perfect. Anything else? Thank you. Library update? You got some of those glasses?
Huh?
Do you have any glasses down there?
I did get 24 calls about classes, but I did not get, by the way. everyone, I did have some people choice words because I didn't have them, and they were depending on me to have them. I'm sorry. I did have success with my Easter Bunny visit 2 weeks ago, however, and 76 visit us for that. I have an event coming up on Tuesday, the 16th, with Merrimack Regional Planning Commission for Earth Day. They're going to be sharing some stories with us, so that's fun. They're also helping me out with my summer reading program, so they're doing a lot with us this summer. And I'm also going to be visiting on the 16th with Auntie Kayla's daycare. She's invited me over there for National Librarian Day. That's going to be fun too. I confirmed my summer book fair with Scholastic last week. And last year's summer book fair raised $840 in Scholastic bucks. So that provided a lot of new books for the library. I've made a lot of headway in my children's area project. Nathan and Shane and Darren came and got my shelves out of my way. So it looks really good back there. I've got it all cleaned up and ready to go. And Kelly made a great purchase for me today with my rugs and everything for that. So I'm hoping to get it all finished before the summer reading program starts. So I can have my kickoff and it'll all be finished. And then I'm going to be going and participating in the parent night with the first grade teachers. They want me to share my summer reading program with their students that night. So, come on. Over there.
Thank you, Lacey. Please update.
Three new officers that have been hired for shifts are here tonight. So I'll let them introduce themselves and we'll go from there.
Chris Ward, I'm a night shift guy on, I guess, tonight and this Saturday. I've been a cop for 8 years now. The Attorney General's Office, Conservation, and Columbia Beach.
I'm Chris Taylor, and I will be a day shift. And I'm coming over from Class Lieutenant Sheriff of Crawford Community.
I'm Maria Bradshaw, I'm an ordinance officer. I worked at Jefferson City Correction Center for about 5.5 years. This is my first time doing the actual outside one.
So the calls for services last month was 361 calls. 25 agency assists, which those are up quite a bit. 2 burglaries, which they have been solid. I believe it was last month, or was that this one?
Those were last month.
Last month. Phone calls, we have 54 phone calls. Stealing is 3, which some of that is from the burglaries. Unaccounted unresponsive. We've only had 1, we had 2, 1 was death and that was agency assist. The other one, I'm not sure, I wasn't on that day when that happened. Who's there? That's pretty much a summary of last month's calls. There's a lot more calls there than that. Those are ones that we hit on. As we all know, we sold blacktop, we sold it should be picked up Monday. With that, I'm down here. I'm down 1 vehicle at least. 2 would be efficient. Brandon here's going to go over some summaries of a couple of vehicles. We got an opportunity to buy one that's fully outfitted from Mary Scanlon. And that includes mobile repeater, Bowspin radio, rare VHF radio, light system, cage, the whole 9 yards in this car. All you have to do is change the name on it and have radio to the program, and it's ready to go. Brandon, he's got pictures of everything and all that.
What was the price?
The price on that one was 25.
No, how much did you get?
On the top.
46, I believe, is what they said.
So
Better not
I went down to Mary's County and took some photos of the vehicle. That's just one, yes. But so what we're realizing, part of the issue that we're having is that the gold car that we currently have is driven both day and night. So that vehicle basically never gets a break. If that, in the event that vehicle goes down, the mayor and chief are giving up one of our vehicles in order for the patrols to have a way, and then that forces us to use a personal vehicle in the event that we have to come or back up another vehicle, or the patrols that are on shift. One of the things that I brought up to chief is the possibility of also doing a sedan. I found a couple that are through state surplus that also come with lights and everything on them. They can primarily be used as an ordnance vehicle. And then in the event that we need to, we can also use that as a patrol vehicle as well. Because currently what we're doing is our ordnance officer is riding around with a patrol during their shift. So they're either doing ordnance calls or they have to break away and then they're doing a law enforcement call. They can't really necessarily do both at the same time because of that. So if you guys, this is one of the other vehicles, that's a Taurus, that would work awesome for as a patrol vehicle for our ordinance officer, and can also be used in the backup for patrol. The Marys County vehicle, that was one of the issues that we were having as far as grants and not being able to put in for state grants because we don't have any in-car repeaters. The repeater that we have is located on the water tower here in town. The way that their grants are worded through the state, they won't entertain that as an in-car repeater or but however, the Mary's vehicle, the first packet that I passed around does have the in-car repeater and will allow us to put in for those state grants.
What grants are you talking about here?
So the in-car repeater pertains to like vehicle radios, anything like that. We couldn't put in for the vehicle with radio grant because we didn't have in-car repeaters. They denied us for that reason.
No,
So even if you're going to use it to purchase a vehicle to add one?
We wouldn't add another vehicle after this. We wouldn't need to. However, it would help in the event that we have radios, because currently we only have, if it's 3 handhelds for the PD. So 3 handhelds for the PD, I use a personal radio, and the rest of the radios that we have are, we can't talk to county or anybody else. It's only local.
We bought 5.
When I first bought the 3 radios, it was agreed upon by the council that in 6 months I could have got 3 more. I did order 3 more. At the time, I mean, I was more worried about getting officers to work than radios. But we're starting to become fully staffed, so we're going to need additional equipment.
So I'm curious on the way the grant is worded. Is the grant worded, and I would probably want some clarification from you, Kelly, is the grant worded that all vehicles need repeaters or just one vehicle?
Just one. Just one, the way I read it.
I'd be curious on that, because the last thing we want to do is purchase a vehicle, then we're told when we do go apply for grants again that.
It has to be an all.
Yeah.
According to what I read, it said a vehicle repeater has to be one. I've read this several times now since we got denied because of that, because I misread it the first time. It doesn't say that every vehicle has to have a repeater in it for that purpose.
Is it typical, maybe, and I just don't know, if anybody can answer this that knows, is it typical for most police vehicles that have repeaters in them?
It is for the rural areas, it is. Like St. Robert, I think they got 6 repeaters that's around their town, or it's gonna be. Out here, we're in the middle, of Crocker, St. Robert, Pulaski, Sheriff's Department, we're right in the middle. We have a repeater at the tower that we use for our handhelds to reach St. Robert, no problems, it works great. The most in repeater for these radios that we're asking to buy, they're $22, $23, $4,000, depending on which model you have to get. The equipment that's in Marys County Park, the vehicle repeater itself is $13,000. I got a quote on that from RCS. The mobile radio that's in that car is $6,000. It's the same one we have over the PD right now that we got is when we got all the radios from, I think, COVID. Yeah. one is person next. The Kenwoods, they're running about $3,000 or $4,000. I mean, these radios ain't cheap. Time you buy all the equipment, put it in a car, it's adequate, plus another $2,000, $2,500 for lighting system for a car. I mean, you're well over $30,000. I think it's a good deal. They've got all the maintenance records to their vehicles over there.
So to clarify, the grant that we applied for last year, we got denied because we weren't eligible due to the radios. So I don't know if everyone's understanding that, but we did apply for a radio. We didn't get it because we weren't eligible due to the radio situation. That's what they're talking about.
So they wouldn't approve us to get one because we didn't already have one.
We didn't have a vehicle repeater.
Right.
In a vehicle, installed in a vehicle. That's one of the requirements.
So to get the radio to go with.
The handheld.
Correct.
The handheld. And I just read that because I thought repeaters and water tower would cover that, but it did not.
I would not personally buy a vehicle that had 113,000 miles on the county sheriff's had, because that's 113,000 hard miles on the gravel roads out there. I wouldn't. I mean, how many miles did the tan car we had on when we bought it?
I don't think it's got 100,000 on it right now, right?
I was saying it's 60, 70 when we bought it.
I think when we bought it was close to 70, 68, I think.
We bought from the highway patrol.
The car doesn't seem like that far. I mean,
It didn't say how much on the
Yeah,
it's
it's
all
90,
92.
95 or something.
4 cars it is.
well, I'd rather have a full car than a Dodge car.
Too late.
I thought he was talking about the Dodge cars, not the full cars like that.
Just to be clear, I stated no. I'd be all right with the Taurus, but not a truck. We had nothing but nightmares on this. What's their, do they have a budget item, line item for that?
No.
Discussion?
I said what I wouldn't buy the can from your I guess it's got all the stuff in it, whatever, but I don't know how much that value adds.
How much value does the bill that add to the car? Well, if you go back to buy a car from the fleet, like we did with the brown car.
Keep in mind, compared to the white one, that has lights and sirens and all that stuff. So it doesn't have the repeater.
So you're looking at a repair between $13,000 and $14,000 to put one in. Plus the radio, most of the radios go with that. So you're already over, what, 19,000?
Okay, so the repeater,
Yes,
that's $13,000.
yes.
How much is the grant worth? Like, what are we gonna get realistically from a grant if we have a repeater? Do we need the repeater in a car?
If you want, unless you're gonna give me $11,000 to buy 3 more radios. Anyways.
Right, but for $11,000, just get the 3 radios we need.
And I think that's half what.
Just to be clear, Chief, that you've already been approved to get that, so that is here nor there.
Right.
So, I mean,
I'm saying-
I'm always in discussion, but at the same token, I think you're getting off track on it.
Is it worth spending money for a car that has a repeater for something that we may not necessarily need that grant for?
Have we ever had a quote for a repeater?
I have a quote over there that it was $13,000 before I presented it to you guys before.
But my point too is, if you don't need the repeater, you're saying that they ought to use them in rural areas or whatever, but we have one on the tower. I haven't heard any complaints out of you guys.
If you want my God honest truth, I think every vehicle needs a repeater. We get out north of town, you can't talk back to the same level.
Once I hit, from my pursuit that I had last week, once I hit Highway W, I couldn't talk to anybody.
I switched over to sheriff's station, contacted Marion County to find out where my officer was.
City limits, though,
that's where we really need to focus on
We
it.
have issues within city limits as well, 7th and 8th Street.
This is the first time hearing of it though, so that's why I'm asking the question of if a repeater is necessary. So, I mean, is this something we really need to spend 13 grand on to buy a repeater, whether we buy that car or not? That's what I'm asking.
I think that's a question we might raise later after we get everything situated. Because St. Robert's getting ready to update their system, okay? And they're gonna come up here and update our system so we can still be compatible with St. Robert. So, to be honest with you, to be fair, I think it would probably be wise to wait to see how things work. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you I want it just because I want it. If I need it, it's a different story. And I think you guys, I don't ask for anything I don't need.
So,
Can we spend ARPA money on any of this communications equipment stuff?
We'll have to check.
so basically we don't need to use the repeater as justification by the other car.
No, sir.
I wouldn't spend $25,000 on a used county sheriff's car, even if it's got a bunch of cool gadgets in it.
They are hard.
They're very hard to understand. I mean, every time you drive north of Dixon, and you meet one, he's half in your lane, blind. I mean, every single one. Try to drive a road and not get run over by it.
How many full-time day officers do we have?
Full-time officer right now, 6.
I need, like, how many are actually working during the daytime shift? Not, if there's 6 working during the daytime, we have some serious issues.
During the day,
You'll have Mayor McDougal and 1 officer.
plus ordinance.
And ordinance, yes.
Is,
But you and McDougal are pretty well, during the days, one of you two is on, correct?
Yes.
And then another additional officer, and then the ordinance.
Yes.
Extra.
are we the streets police 24/7, 365?
Yes, they are.
Okay, I gotta ask, I was told that we didn't have cops between 3 o'clock and 7:30 in the morning. And I was like, that's news to me.
No. Since we were short on staff, I was going on call from 3:30 to the daytime.
Okay.
But as far as actual, and the reason I done that, I'm gonna justify why I done it. In case these people come in at 3:30 and start cooking donuts, 3:30 MTC people show up. So they're covered. Okay, we never had issues out of Country Mart until recently, and that's been hopefully taken care of. They get there, what, 5? At 5. They call me, I get up and come in. I'm in here within 6 minutes of being called. So it's really no different than me sitting in my office doing paperwork and getting a call in time to get back to me, getting out the building, getting my car and using the scene.
No, I was just asking.
Right, but to be fair and not to mislead anybody, that's what was happening. But now I have officers who cover complete shifts. So, yes, they're 7 days a week, 365.
What's the status on the camper that's been hooked up to city utilities for years? Where are we at with that?
The
Nexus snack ad that's been for years now. We got campers that are hooked up to city utilities. Where's the status of them?
Right.
So I've already gone over there and talked to him. The next step is the citation, which I need to do.
So,
We kind of got behind on NBC stuff. It will take.
I haven't gone over there and talked to him. I told him, he said he was gonna fix it. Apparently he hasn't done it. I believe there's like 3 of them in town that I warned that day initially. So all 3 will, I don't believe any of the 3 have actually fixed the issue. All 3 will be getting citations.
And did, what we discussed about no running water or electricity, we need to figure out that.
if you have no running water or no electricity, it's a clear.
I will explain to everybody so they understand why you have to have a water bill or to pay a water bill in this city. And I don't want to have to go down that route that other cities have gone down. If you collect rainwater or you get water from somewhere else, and you use the bathroom, and you take a 5-gallon bucket full of water that you got from somewhere else, and you pour it in that toilet, all of us are paying
Absolutely, absolutely.
to clean that when it goes in the sewer system. They're not, we are.
And I think I've talked to the mayor about it, I talked to Jeff about it. We're just, I gotta find an avenue to go to get it done. Because the ordinance that I wrote the last person for, it was dismissed because it states running water. It didn't say, had to be city water, it didn't say, it said running water. And it was, she had it hooked up to a tape with a pump, it was running water.
Where's she getting that water?
I don't think that's the case.
I don't know, I couldn't tell you that.
That's not the case, is it, Jeff?
Yes, that was the case.
That's another one that needs to be reviewed.
Yeah, we gotta rewrite the ordinance.
If we're having problems with ordinances and we're not fixing it, whose fault is it? Definition of insanity.
We can't fix things we don't know about either. That's the other thing.
Where you guys at on vehicle? So let's just touch on it while we're at it. What's our general fund, the one we got hit on from the auditors? What's included in the general fund? Let's go over it for everybody. What's our number one expense and why we're over on our general fund? The police
Well, the police
department.
department is the most expense in the general fund.
So what's our number one complaint thing in the town of Dixon? Policing, right? We can agree it's policing. Let's just have a discussion about it. So somehow along the lines, as we move forward, you guys have to figure out how to navigate your budget. We have to figure out how we're gonna let you navigate your budget so it's efficient. And we talked about some ways of doing it, but somehow it's gonna have to get fixed. So the general fund, just so anybody that's read that, because I think it's very misleading, when you read it, what's the general fund? What's everybody think? It's our own bank account, right? Like that's what I'm thinking by the end of it. It's everything, right? So that's not the case. So as they point that out, we have to, part of the city, we have funds and we have to use certain funds for certain things. Like it's not like our own bank account where I can write a check for this, this, and this. I can write whatever I want, right? We are delegated what we can and can't write out of, and you guys are unfortunately stuck under the journal, and we can, we use you guys for water, stuff like that, we can take it out of different funds, but for the most part, you guys are stuck in that. So somehow we have to navigate how we address that issue. So, and the flip side of this is just to paint the picture, and I think we're working on some type of rebuttal to put out there, and the city's not broke by no means. Anybody that looks around and knows the city, if we run the city like a business, and I'll just put this out there for a split second, if we ran it like a city, and you told me 5 years ago I bought a business that was failing, the business had $500,000 back then, I built new buildings, hired more people, we bought more equipment, and now our bank account is 1.4 million. I don't think I would ever, anybody in their right mind would ever say that's a declining business, but unfortunately that's what we got told by the auditors. So just to put it out there, 1.3, what did we come up with earlier? Do you remember 1.39? So that's how much money is in all of our accounts combined. When I first started, we had 500,000. And I say us, for the majority of it, we took over from what I would call the bad times. So you guys are stuck in the general fund. Somehow we're gonna have to figure out how to navigate our way around. So we can't keep just taking out of that account. They say that's inappropriate. We've been told differently from MML, so there's gonna have to be something addressed there, so.
It's unfortunate and nobody's happy about it.
Especially not happy.
I get that.
Not
I said we
happy.
transfer them all to the maintenance department, and there we go, we fixed it.
They need to do a lot of work on all
You
that.
can't do that, you can't fix it that way either, Trevor, because when you have to have an ORI, you have to have an ORI to enforce your laws. You have to have an ORI, it's part of the state's thing.
The water department can own your cars and lease them.
Oh, yes. I thought you were saying for adults, but I said that's a word that way. But yeah, not.
Uniforms, the water department uniforms, they let you guys use.
Guns. The water department.
Finally.
Water pistols now?
I think all this back, a lot of our water revenue is into the general fund is the bonds, and quite frankly, there's enough money there to retire the bonds. I think we need to call the finance and see if we can send something out to get them to remove that stipulation on this. We didn't talk about it.
Yeah, I'll reach out and me and Deanna talk
Even
about
if
it.
I mean, I think we have how much is on the bond, 600,
It's not, it's not 40 on that one.
540 on the one that keeps us from doing it. So if we can just set that up in some type of reserve account for them that might satisfy them to remove that requirement, then we can.
Is it, like, could you even negotiate, like, maybe not the full amount, but I mean,
I'm gonna call them tomorrow too.
I don't think so, I think we have to do the full amount.
I don't know who let that verbiage be in there, but that's terrible verbiage to be in what we're dictated to do, so hopefully we can work something out.
or even, I mean, even if we did have to hold it in reserve, we could.
Well, I mean, right now with interest rates what they are, us holding in reserve, paying it off early, we still have to pay the guaranteed return on the bond, whereas we could be earning that interest right now, where all banks are paying interest, opposed to 3 years ago. when they were giving us
Even if they had to take
4%.
security,
What's that?
even if they had to take security interest and,
In that.
yeah, in
CD or
that,
whatever.
yeah.
I'm sitting there, inflation was beating it up, so the value's going down, even though we're seeing that same balance there.
If we take the 540, put it in CD, we're making money on that. And
The problem is it just would free up use of.
well, if we can work something out, then we will.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it would free up, it would remove that covenant and it would free up.
I think they'll be able to negotiate that.
I don't think it's interesting.
Then we would have full use of all our funds.
It's very higher statement.
I think it's still.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
literally.
absolutely just completely.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah,
If you're gonna hang us on that, then we'll get rid of it.
I think the way they worded it, and behind the scenes, you guys, when I had a closed session with them, we expressed our concern with the way they worded general, and most people would take it just the way they took it. I feel like it's political. So we have our wrongs, we're not a perfect council, guys. This is a hard job. There's always the rules and this and that. At the same token, I think we're good stewards of everybody's money. I think we always have been. We've grown the city in a better way, but that's something we're gonna have to work around, so. Anything, discussion? You guys want to do anything on the cars? You guys want to get some different options? You guys want to buy that Taurus, at least for now?
We don't mind towards
How much additional
I mean,
do
is
you have
that,
to
would that
add?
mean what, if we say no to the first one, is that what you want? Is that your next, like, hey, this is the one we pick, the Taurus? Speak now for every piece.
I didn't, at the beginning of it,
How much additional do you have to have for the tourists? Because I know you said that the Explorer for Marys County was fully loaded, everything was there, didn't have to buy anything extra.
They could use the-
What extra are you gonna have to buy for the
Taurus,
car?
I think all it needs is a radio.
The car?
And it would be, you can have a radio out of the top, we could use it. I think their concept behind that, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, was to use this mainly for an extra vehicle in the nuisance.
But I'm asking though, like, if we say no to the other one, is that still your first choice?
Or you one time trying to find something for that, Joe was telling me there was something for that.
It's from.
I mean, yeah, do you wanna go out and find another option, or?
I can, but I mean, the Taurus will, I mean, they'll suffice. I mean, I don't have an option, I don't have no vehicles.
But you're gonna have that one and another vehicle, right? So whoever,
Right, so we can pass on Marys County. Take the Taurus, and it gives us some time to figure out some of this money jumble stuff that you guys gotta do. And maybe we can, by that time.
Yeah, because as of right now, it doesn't exist. As of right now, the money doesn't exist
Right,
to use for that.
right.
Just to be frank about it, like, doesn't exist.
I mean, I get it, I do.
Well, the
Don't
general
wanna
public
say,
doesn't
but-
understand, like I said, that I didn't understand it before as on council. I mean, just to be transparent. So the general is you guys. The reason we're over is PD. So if you're out and about talking to people and they ask that question, make sure they understand that it's a two-sided sword.
Right.
Yeah,
We can only spend so much
if they
money.
want us to cut, we have to cut you guys.
The only thing within the city right now that we spend more money on than we take in, or like always go over budget, is the PD. And that's not like sitting here bashing or anything else, because I'm all for it. But at the same token, we have to find a fine line there, and which how to vary, walk down that path, I should say.
Yeah, we thought we had a revenue for it, and then we learned we did not.
So we're going forward with the,
Motion to approve, I'll need a motion to approve the tours. They should be able to use the money that they received, and then you can add the additional, it's
95-25.
95-25.
So can you put in that motion to add that to the budget?
Yes.
Thank you.
so the motion needs to be.
To
Is it
amend the
that
budget. Yeah.
We're submitting the budget by,
I'll make a motion to purchase the 4 tours for $95.25 and to amend the budget, the PD budget, to add that amount in there. Yeah, we have to add the full amount, the $95.25. Yes, you still have to add it in there. Okay.
second.
Mike Parsons?
Yes.
Anthony Campbell?
Yes.
Mary Wiles?
Yes.
Stacy Yocum?
No.
Trevor Arnold?
Yes.
Mike Gunther?
No.
Pass 4-2.
Thank you, guys. Nathan, you need to get moved up your list.
The month of March, we had 35 meters, we had 2 water leaks we fixed. There was no water outages for the month of March. I got a water analysis here. It was, water loss was at 28% for the month of February, which is getting better. We treated over 6 million gallons at the treatment plant. We fixed PD sewer. They had an issue with their sewer line backing up multiple times. I think it was over like 50 times in a year. We got it fixed. We got water going at the wastewater treatment plant. No leaks of any kind. The water's good to go. We did order SCADA, and we're going to be installing at the high school well. We're going to be painting lines downtown. We hope to have that completed by June 1st. They're having a car show June 15th. And I guess it's for people all over the United States. So. And we are going to install a burnout pad 20 by 14 in front of your light. So, we registered 2 people for class for the BS2. It's paid for through the voucher program through DNR. We sent 4 reports, DNR, the EDMRs for March and February, quarter 1 samples. And we did have good satisfactory back to results.
Thank you. Questions, concerns?
So we got the truck, jet truck lined out. So what's the next priority for equipment for public works?
So it'd probably be some type of mini excavator in that area. We had time, sometimes we have trouble getting in the yards. Obviously, the back truck will help out considerably as far as equipment goes, but say we can get back to someone's yard at some point and be on a water sewer line, it gets kind of challenging with a big back. So,
And what kind of price range are we talking here?
well, it'd be a mini trailer, probably 50 range, I would say.
Or
60, yeah. Probably 60.
That is something that we're working on when we get a chance to fill out that application through that rural development USDA, a grant potentially.
What kind of time frame are we looking at here?
The applications for this round were already submitted, so it's a while. I mean, there's no hurry at this point.
It's a process.
It's a process.
Okay.
But going
But
into.
how does that back up against the ARPA funding requirements to have the ARPA money spent, you see?
Right, so the money for the USDA is usually released in the spring. So we have to have ARPA money spent by 2025, so it'll be in there pretty close.
Will we know before how will that work? I forgot the timetable on that. Does anybody remember that one?
For what, the USDA?
Yeah, do you remember what the time frame they give
I think it's
approval?
like a year almost, isn't it?
A year.
At least a year.
If you apply now, it'll probably be next March, February, March. And if we have the same year we have with the budget, it may be longer.
Correct.
Is it, ARPA funds, is it also available for declining sales revenue and sales tax?
We can, I don't know, I can ask. I'm gonna ask about the car, and I'll ask about anything else we need to do. See, we had put it there to pay Archer for the design fee, but we're not gonna have enough anyway, so. I'll talk to him tomorrow, and what we can probably spend it.
Questions, concerns?
I have a question on the water.
Good.
Our water in our house is starting to, I mean, it was just a faint scent of like rotten eggs, and now it's just getting worse and worse and
Change the
worse.
electrode underwater meter.
I'm sorry?
Change the animals underwater.
Okay.
What is the address?
505 North Oak.
90% of the time. So
Okay.
we have zero.
It's just gotten worse and worse, and I didn't know whether,
You need,
Basically, when you're hot water.
yeah, especially with the hot
It
water.
needs to be, it's probably magnesium, and it needs to be aluminum. So
What was it?
it's probably magnesium, and
This
it needs
is
to
the
be.
first time you know that.
And you can get those
Far of our water streets.
Most people
I
think,
didn't think of it an issue, but it's just getting worse and worse.
and most people think that it's the water's fault, but it's usually the hot water thing, or the water meter's fault.
Okay,
And it's a bacteria, and the bacteria is harmless.
okay.
You can pick those things up on Amazon a lot cheaper than you buy them in the store.
anything else? Going once, going twice. Motion to go into close with final recess to give Mr. Baker time to get out.
Make sure you go into closed session.
Second.
Mike Parsons?
Yes.
Anthony Campbell?
Yes.
Mary Wiles?
Yes.
Stacy Oka? Yes. Trevor Marshall?
Yes.
Mike Duffy?
Yes.